Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel Prabhupada Teachings. So the video today is regarding Dovetailing. Dovetailing is one of the main teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So it's one of the main teachings that I feel that these teachings of Dovetailing made in me a very, very deep impression. And it's a very, very deep teaching because he teaches us how to dovetail our nature, our activities in the service of the Supreme. When our activities are dovetailed to the Supreme, so we become in the same transcendental position as the Supreme. Srila Prabhupada, when he arrived in the Western countries, specifically the United States of America in 1965, he found the young generation against the status quo. They were hippies, girls, boys, and they had a very peculiar type of life, very hedonistic life, style, very hedonistic. So, but Prabhupada, through his teachings, he could enter in the hearts of that young generation and inculcate in them the need for us to act in the service of the Lord, dovetail our activities in the service of the Lord. And he was successful. From New York, in a very humble beginning, by spreading this message of Dovetailing, he started to change all generations all over the world. He had this power. Before the advent of His Divine Grace Prabhupada in the Western countries, little was known regarding karma, dharma, yoga. Few people knew about that. It was very strange words, karma, dharma, whatever regarding spiritual life. So in that confused timing, Prabhupada came and taught us how to dovetail our energies, activities, actions in the service of the Lord. So a good example of how to engage our sense in the service of the Lord is given in the Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna, who was a prince, who was in the order of a Kshatriya. Kshatriya is one of the four orders, social orders in the society. If you observe society, it is divided in four. There are the priests, there are the statesmen, fighters, there are those who are in the business, and those who are workers. Arjuna specifically was a Kshatriya. He was a fighter. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, he decided not to fight, although he had to. And he posed himself as an ignorant man. A man who doesn't know the purpose of life. So in this way, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita enlightens Arjuna and teaches him the science of devotion, and teaches him how he had to engage his propensity, his actions in the service of the Lord. As a warrior, as a fighter, he had to fight. And by fighting in connection with the desire of the Lord, then he would attain salvation. He would attain enlightenment. He would be transcendental to the material nature. So this is the easiest way to enlighten humanity in the pursuit of spirituality. This is through engaging, dovetailing our activities in touch with the Supreme. Joshayat Sarva Karmani. This is from Bhagavad Gita 3:26. Joshayat means should dovetail. Krishna says, so as not to disrupt the minds of ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duties, a learned person should not induce them to stop work. Rather, by working in the spirit of devotion, he should engage them in all sorts of activities. So, working in the spirit of devotion, we should not stop our activities. Sometimes there is this misconception that in order to make advancement in spiritual life, we have to stop all activities. No. Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna explains, we have to work, we have to act in the spirit of devotion. So those who are ignorant should not be refrain. We should not refrain those who are ignorant in doing their activities. But the sage, the learned one, knows how to engage that ignorant person in superior activities. It's like a small child. So he can be very messy boy. And you cannot just tell, don't do this, don't do that. You have to engage the kid in an activity that will help him to be educated, to behave properly. It's not by curtailing his action, her action. So in the same way, the learned ones, the sages, they know how to occupy, how to deal with ignorant people who don't know the process of self-realization. Again, it's Prabhupada, when he came in the United States and found that young generation, he was not telling them, don't do this, don't do that. He was just saying, please engage your activities in the service of the Lord. Whatever you do, engage your activities in the service of the Lord. Furthermore, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 3, Text 41, King Nimi, he is talking, he is approaching some sages, and he says, Sri Raja Ovacha, the king said, Karma Yogam Vadatanaha, Purusho Yena Sanskritaha, Viduye Hasu Karmani, Naiskarmam Vindate Param. King Nim said, O great sages, please speak to us about the process of Karma Yoga. Purified by this process of dedicating one's practical work to the Supreme, a person can very quickly free himself from all material activities, even in this life, and thus enjoy pure life on the transcendental platform. Karma Yoga, the practice of dovetailing one's work with the Supreme. So then, by acting Karma Yoga, our activities in the service of the Lord, we get purified, we get enlivened. Sarvopadi vinir muktam taparatwena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sivanam bhaktir utyate. This is from Narada Pancharatra. In this verse of Narada Pancharatra, it is explained that when we engage ourselves in the service of the Lord, we are going to get as a result two concomitant effects. First of one is Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam. A person becomes free from all kinds of designations. There is no more I am this, I am that. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm Christian, I'm Buddhist. So this is all material designations. We are souls. And when the soul engages in the service of the Lord, so the other concomitant effect is that our senses become purified. Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam. Our senses become purified, and then we can engage perfectly in spiritual practice. Buddhya yukto yaya partha, intelligence dovetailed. This is from Bhagavad Gita 239. When you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. When we act in the with our intelligence in the service of the Lord, we can free ourselves from the bondage of work. We free ourselves and we situate ourselves in transcendence. We are connected with the Supreme Lord. We are in the same page. It's like an example of the motor car. A car is driving 60 miles an hour, and there is a cyclist going on, and the cyclist is going 10 miles an hour. So if the cyclist, he catches the motor car, then even without pedaling, he can go in the same speed of the motor car. So in the same way, although we are embodied, we have this material body, we have our material concept of life. When we engage ourselves in the service of the Lord, we are situated with the Lord, and we are in the same page. Bhagavad Gita 4:24. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. This is Karma Yoga. Engaging our senses, engaging our activities, dovetailing our life, our actions in the service of the Lord. If activities are not dovetailed in the service of the Lord, then we shall be responsible for the results of our activities. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, chapter 2, verse 33. If you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties. Again, Varnashram, our position in the society, everyone has a duty regarding society. So we have to use our nature in the service of the Lord. Otherwise, we are responsible for our actions. Then we will incur in karma. Every action, there is a reaction. Krishna consciousness means akarma. Akarma is negation of karma. There is no more karma. We are free. We are free from the bondage of this world. Jat karosi jat asnasi, jat juhosi dadasyat, jat tapasyasi kaunteya tat krusama arpanam. Bhagavad Gita 9:27. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerity you perform, do that of son of Kunti as an offering to me. So this is very clear. If we don't offer our activities in the service of the Lord, then we are responsible for our actions. In the beginning, we act with this consciousness. In the preliminary stage of Bhakti-yoga, the Bhakta, the practitioner, he learns how to use his tendency in the service of the Lord, and to use the fruits of his actions in the service of the Lord. But in the more advanced stage of spiritual realization, one stops to working regarding the fruitive acts, but he acts as a devotion. There is no more that search or occupy our tendency in the service of the Lord. Because naturally, advanced Bhakta devotee, he acts fully in God consciousness. Hare Krishna, thank you. So if you like the content of this video, you give a like in your Facebook, subscribe to our channel in the YouTube channel, and spread the word. Share this knowledge with whoever you can. Thank you again.